Hi, and welcome. This will be the reading of Proverbs chapter 31, verse 31 to Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1. Reading backwards, verse to verse. King James Version. Let's begin. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry, her clothing is silk and purple. She is not afraid of the snow of her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. Her she stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good, her candle goeth not out by night. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion of her maidens. She is like the merchant's ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Open thy mouth for the dumb, in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Let him drink, and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. Give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. What, my son? And what the son of my womb? And what the son of my vows? The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. A greyhound and he goat also, and a king, against whom there is no rising up. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. There be three things which go well, yea, four are comely in going. The spider taketh hold with her hands, and is in kings' palaces. The locusts have no king, yet go they forth all of them by bands. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet make they their houses in the rocks. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. For an odious woman when she is married, and an handmaid that is heir to her mistress. For a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat. For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. There be three king things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which I know not. The eye that mocketh at his father, and despiseth to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. The horse leech hath two daughters, crying, Give, give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, four things say not, it is enough. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be found guilty. Lest I be full, and deny thee, and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor, and steal, and take the name of my God in vain. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name? If thou canst tell? I neither learned wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the holy. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. The words of Agur, the son of Jakeh, even the prophecy, the man spake unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel and Ucal. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Whoso is partner with a thief hateth his own soul. He heareth cursing and bewareth it not. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. He that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at the length. Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than him. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. The king that faithfully judgeth the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. The Lord lighteneth both their eyes. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous doth sing and rejoice. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet. The king by judgment establisheth the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it. Whoso loveth wisdom rejoiceth his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots spendeth his substance. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. Whoso robbeth his father or his mother, and saith it is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer. He that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue. He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. Whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit. Let no man stay him. The prince that wanteth understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. As a roaring lion and a ringing bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. When the righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory, but when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor that hath understanding searcheth him out. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of men, riotous men, shameth his father. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain, which leaveth no food. For the transgression of a land many are the princes thereof, but a man of understanding and knowledge, the state thereof shall be prolonged. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. And thou shalt have goat's milk, enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance of for thy maidens. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. The hay appeareth, and the tender grass sheweth itself, the and herbs of the mountains are gathered. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation? Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. Though thou shouldest bray a fool in a mortar, among wheat with a pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. As the fighting pot for silver, and the furnace for gold, so is a man to his praise. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. As in water face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man. Whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, so he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Whosoever hideth her hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand, which beweareth itself. A continual dropping is in a very rainy day, and a contentious woman are alike. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted a curse to him. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous. But who is able to stand before envy? A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone it will return upon him. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. The wounds of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. So is the man that deceiveth his neighbor, and saith, Am not I in sport? As a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death. He that passeth by, and meddleth with strife belonging not to him, is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom. It grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. As the door turneth up his hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. The slothful man saith, There is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. The legs of the lame are not equal, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. As the bird for as the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. As snow in summer, and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
It is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory is not glory. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. As cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house. The north wind driveth away rain, so doth an angry countenance a backbiting tongue. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. If thine enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is be thirsty, give him water to drink. As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and as vinegar upon nitre, so is he that strength songs to an heavy heart. Confidence is Confidence in a unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor as is a maul, and a sword and a sharp arrow. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee, and so hate thee. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Whoso boasteth himself of a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver. Lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thine infamy turn not away. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another. Go not forth hastily to strife, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. For better it is that it be said unto thee, come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. If it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. There are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. Say not, I will do so to him as he hath done to me. I will render to the man according to his work. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause, and deceive not with thy lips. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. Every man shall kiss his lips that giveth a right answer, but to them that rebuke him shall be delight, and a good blessing shall come upon them. He that saith unto the wicked, Thou art righteous, him shall the people curse, nations shall abhor him. These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment, for their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both? My son, fear thou the Lord and the King, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For there shall be no reward to the evil man, the candle of the wicked shall be put out. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked, lest the Lord see it and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Rejoice not with when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul. When thou hast found it, then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. My son, eat thou honey, because it is good, and the honeycomb, which is sweet to thy taste. If thou sayest, Behold, we knew it not, doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it? And he that keepeth thy soul, doth not he know it? And shall not he render to every man according to his works? If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to man. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established. For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. They have stricken me, shalt thou say, and I was not sick? They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will see it yet again. Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. At the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth his color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine, who hath woe, who hath sorrow, who hath contentions, who hath babbling, who hath wounds without cause, who hath redness of eyes. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors of men. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, and she that bare thee shall rejoice. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. Buy the truth and sell it not, also wisdom and instruction and understanding. Hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. Yea, my reins shall rejoice when thy lips speak right things. My son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Apply thine heart unto the instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. For their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with thee. Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. Speak not in the ears of fools, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up, and loose thy sweet words. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee? Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for debt, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. For the Lord will plead their cause, and spoil the soul of those that spoiled them. Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate, that I might make thee know the certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that send unto thee? Have not I written to thee excellent things and counsels and knowledge, that thy trust may be in the Lord? I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. For it is pleasant, for it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee. They shall withal be fitted in thy lips. Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. The mouth of a strange the mouth of strange women is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Lord shall fall therein. The slothful man saith, there is a lion without, I shall be slain in the streets. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease. He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that doth keep his soul shall be far from them. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches, and honor, and life. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on, and are punished. The rich and poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord. A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way. A false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? He coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. A wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, and casteth down the strength of the confidence thereof. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor. There is treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and, and, and angry woman. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be the workers of iniquity. A gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, but God overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise, and when the wise is instructed, he receiveth knowledge. The soul of the wicked desireth evil, his neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. It is better to dwell in a corner top of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The way of man is froward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. And high look and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. The blueness of a wound cleanseth away evil, so do stripes. the inward parts of the belly. The glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is the gray head. Mercy and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy. The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. A wise king scattereth the wicked, and bringeth the will over them. It is a snare to the man who devoureth that which is holy, and after vows to make inquiry. Man's going are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Divers weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. There is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. It is not, saith the buyer, but when he is gone his way, then he boasteth. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord hath made even both of them. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. Divers weights and divers measures, both of them are alike abomination to the Lord. Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? A king that sitteth in the throne of judgment scattereth away all evil with his eyes. The just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him. Most men will proclaim every one his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. A sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold, therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. It is an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. The fear of a king is as the roaring of a lion. Whoso provoketh him to anger sinneth against his own soul. Wise is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the back of fools. An ungodly witness scorneth judgment, and the mouth of the wicked devoureth iniquity. Cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causeth to err from the words of knowledge. He that wiseth wasteth his father, and chaseth away his mother, is a son that causeth shame and bringeth reproach. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware, and reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. There are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment, for if thou deliver him, yet thou must do it again. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his ways shall die. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. House and riches are the inheritance of the fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, yet they are wanting to him. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. The foolishness of a man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good, and he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. A man that hath friends must shew himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. The poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. The lot causeth contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him. Before destruction the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as an high wall in his own conceit. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. Through desire, a man, having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Also to punish the just is not good, nor to strike princes for equity. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her that bare him. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, and the father of a fool hath no joy. He that hath a froward heart findeth no good, and he that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. He loveth transgression that loveth strife, and he that exalteth his gate seeketh destruction. A man void of understanding striketh hands, and becometh surety to the presence of his friend. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born from adversity. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? He that justifieth the wicked, and he that contemneth the just, Even they both are abomination to the Lord. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, leave off contention before it be meddled with. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man, rather than a fool in his folly. An evil man seeketh only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. A reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his Maker, and he that is glad at calamities shall not be unpunished. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. The finding pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. A wise servant shall have the rule over a son that causeth shame, and shall have part of the inheritance among the brethren. Better is a dry morsel in quietness thereof than an house full of sacrifices with strife.
The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. The hoary head is a crown of glory, if it be found in the way of righteousness. He shutteth his eyes to devise forward things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer spareth chief friends. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is as a burning fire. He that laboureth for himself, for his mouth craveth it of him. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. The heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the instruction of fools is folly. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in the Lord, happy is he. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide spoil with the proud. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Much better it is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. In the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favor is as a cloud of latter rain. The wrath of kings is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him that speaketh right. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. A just weight and balance are the Lord's, all the weights of the bag are his work. The divine sentence is in the lips of the king, his mouth transgresseth not in judgment. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. When a man ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. By mercy and truth iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord men depart from evil. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. All the ways are of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good is it! Without counsel purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. The way of the slothful man is as an hedge of thorns. The way of the righteous is made plain. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is, than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. A scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither he will neither will he go unto the wise. Hell and destruction are before the Lord, and much more than the hearts of the children of men. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. A soft answer turneth away wrath, a grievous word stir up anger. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is against him that causeth shame. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, but that which is in the midst of fools is made known. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous hath hope in his death. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his Maker, but he that honoureth him hath mercy on the poor. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. In the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. And the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. A true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. Do they not err that devise evil? But mercy and truth shall be to them that devise good. He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that hath mercy on the poor
happy is he. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways, and a good man shall be satisfied from himself. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. The heart knoweth his own bitterness, and a stranger doth not intermeddle with his joy. Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceiveth not in him the lips of knowledge. A scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. The righteous eateth to the satisfaction of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is abomination to fools to depart from evil. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. A wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well advised is wisdom. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. The ransom of a man's life are his riches, but the poor heareth not rebuke. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath many great riches. Righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthroweth the sinner. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome, and cometh to shame. The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that open wide his lips shall have destruction. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressors shall eat violence. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. He that speaketh truth sheweth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hand shall be rendered unto him. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. A man shall be commanded according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bones. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief it shall come unto him. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. There is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. They that are of a froward heart are abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth suretyship is sure. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. By the blessing of the upright the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead.
When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh frowardness. The mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom, but the froward tongue shall be cut out. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish. The fear of the Lord prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to them that send him. As the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more, but the righteous is an everlasting foundation. The fear of the wicked it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. The blessing of the Lord it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. The tongue of the just is as choice silver, the heart of the wicked is little worth. In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he that refuseth reproof erreth. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life, but the fruit of the wicked to sin. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, the destruction of the poor is their poverty. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. In the lips of him that hath understanding wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all sins. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. He that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow, but a prating fool shall fall. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. The Proverbs of Solomon: a wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither, and for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, to call passengers who go right on their ways. For she sitteth at the door of her house, on a seat in the high places of the city. A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself, but if thou scornest, thou all alone shalt bear it. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Forsake the foolish, and live, and go in the way of understanding. Come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, she hath sent forth her maidens, she crieth upon the highest places of the city. She hath killed her beasts, she hath mingled her wine, she hath also furnished her table. Wisdom hath builded her house, she hath hewn out her 7 pillars. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my door. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. When he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandments, when he appointed the foundations of the earth, when he established the clouds above, when he strengtheneth the fountains of the deep, when he prepared the heavens, I was there, when he set a compass upon the face of the depth, while as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water, I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way,
before his works of old, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. I led I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of judgment. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that findeth knowledge, that find knowledge. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. She standeth in the top of high places, by the way in the places of the paths. Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong. Men have been slain by her. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray to her path, in her paths. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. He goeth after her straightway, and an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. With her much fair speech she caused him to yield, with the flattering of her lips she forced him. He hath taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at the day appointed. For the good man is not at home, he is gone a long journey. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, Now is
she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. She is loud and stubborn, her feet abide not in her house. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. In the twilight, in the evening of the black and dark night, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house, and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. Say unto wisdom, Thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. Men do not despise a thief, if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. So he that goeth in to his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent. Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? For by means of a whorish woman a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. To keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck. My son, keep thy father's commandments, and forsake not the law of thy mother. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. An heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Frowardness is in his heart, he deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Yet a little sleep, yet a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself. When thou art come into the hand of thy friend, go humble thyself, and make sure thy friend. Thou art snared with the words of thy mouth. Thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, he shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. His own iniquities shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his goings. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? Let her be as the loving hide and pleasant roe. Let her breasts satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof? And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, and thou canst not know them. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Let them not depart from thine eyes, keep them in the midst of thine heart. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. The way of the wicked is as darkness, they know not at what they stumble. But the path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go, keep her, for she is thy life. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom, I have led thee in right paths. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting get understanding. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. He taught me also, and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. Hear ye, children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. Surely the scorneth the scorners. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. For the froward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done thee no harm. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Say not unto thy neighbor, Go and come again, and tomorrow I will give when thou hast it by thee. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding hath he established the heavens. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For whom the Lord loveth he correcteth, even as a father the son is whom he delighteth. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. That thou mayest walk in the way of good men, and keep the paths of the righteous. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead, which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words. whose ways are crooked, and they froward in their paths, who rejoice to do evil, and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, who leave the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, then shalt thou understand righteousness, and judgment, and equity, yea, every good path. He keepeth the paths of judgment, and preserveth the way of his saints. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of God. If thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to understanding. My son, if thou wilt receive my words, and hide my commandments with thee, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates, in the city she uttereth her words, saying, Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. And they lay wait for their own blood, they lurk privately for their own lives. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. My son, walk not thou in the way of them, with them, refrain thy foot from their path. Cast in thy lot among us, let us all have one purse. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity, to know wisdom and instruction, to preserve the words of understanding. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. This was the reading of Proverbs chapter 31, verse 31 to Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1. Reading backwards, verse to verse. King James Version. May God bless your souls. Amen.